the deep dive. Today, we're looking closely at just a single title, but it's a really thought-provoking one. One career tip I wish I knew sooner. It sounds simple, maybe short, but we think there's potentially a lot packed into that idea.
Yeah, definitely.
Our mission really is to unpack why a title like this grabs you and, what we can learn just from the concept of a career tip learned the hard way, maybe.
Exactly. There's an immediate hook there, isn't there? That title alone suggests some piece of wisdom, something really pivotal,
right?
Something that, if you'd known it earlier, might have genuinely changed things for the better. It taps into that very human thing of wanting to learn from experience.
Or maybe skip the bad parts of that experience.
Precisely, yeah. Bypass some of those early stumbles if you can.
Okay, so let's dig into that core idea. It's about career advice, obviously, but that extra bit, wish I knew sooner, that feels really key.
It is key. It points to a learning curve, doesn't it? A sort of realization that, this principle or this way of thinking would have been much more powerful earlier on.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder, what kind of principle are we talking about? Is it like strategy or maybe mindset, something technical?
Could be almost anything, really.
Yeah.
If you think about it, maybe someone starting out focuses purely on, say, the technical skills for the job.
Right, head down, doing the work.
Exactly. And maybe they overlook the importance of building good relationships, networking, that sort of thing. And then later they realize, wow, my network is actually crucial. That kind of realization, that could easily be a wish I knew sooner tip.
And that just fuels the curiosity, right? What is the one specific thing the author landed on? Why was it so important to learn it earlier? It connects to that, that basic drive we all have to make good choices in our careers, maybe avoid some pitfalls. It sounds like a promise almost, like a shortcut.
It does, yeah. A little hint of here's how you could have done it better. And, why does career advice generally appeal so much?
Good question.
Well, I mean, our careers are just so central, aren't they? They impact our money, our sense of meaning, just our everyday lives.
Totally.
So any little piece of insight that might make that whole journey smoother or, more successful, it's naturally going to draw you in.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter if you're just starting, changing fields, trying to move up. The idea that someone's found a key piece of wisdom, that's compelling.
Yeah.
It makes you pause and think about your own path too. Are there things you already feel like, man, I wish I'd grasped that sooner?
Exactly that. And the interesting thing is, what could this one tip even be? It could be about, asking for feedback more. Or understanding office politics.
Oh, yeah. The unspoken rules.
Right. Or even something really fundamental like balancing your well-being with your ambition. The possibilities are huge because work itself is so varied.
Okay, so normally this is the point where we'd really dive into the actual text, get into the nitty-gritty of the tip itself.
Unpack the source.
But here's the twist. In this case, the actual pasted text, well, it's empty. There's no specific tip provided in our source material for today.
Right, which is an interesting situation for our deep dive. It shifts the focus, doesn't it?
It does.
So since we don't have the actual tip, we're not dissecting specific advice. Instead, we're sort of reflecting on the value of this whole idea, the value of looking back.
Exactly.
What is this concept, this wish I knew sooner thing? Tell us about how we grow professionally and maybe how important it is to, share what we learn.
Yeah, perfectly put. So while we can't give you that one magic bullet tip today, we've explored why these kinds of insights feel so important and why just thinking about our careers is valuable in itself.
It's a reminder, really, that learning doesn't stop. And looking back isn't just nostalgia. It can actually help you see the way forward more clearly. And that brings us to maybe a final thought for you, the listener. Think about your own career for a second. What's one thing you wish you'd understood or embraced earlier?
Yeah, what's that fundamental piece of knowledge or perspective that's really made a difference for you, or that you think will be crucial as you move forward no matter what field you're in? Something to think about.